Hello BookTube, I've got a fun tag for you today. This is the 20 questions for book lovers tag. This was created by JJ at the Bookworm Blacksmith. Go check her out if you haven't. She's an incredible booktuber, and I saw this tag going around. I was like, I'll join, but I haven't looked at the 20 questions, so I'm going in pretty much blind. And so this will all be off the top of my head pretty much. So we'll see how we go. So number one, what book do you gift the most? I normally like I normally do kids books for some reason when I think about it. Like I've got younger cousins, so I'm like, here, have Where the Wild Things Are, have, Possum Magic, Wombat Stew, that's really all I can think of right now. Beatrix Potter, take that, Alice Wonderland, or like fairy tales. So I think most of the time I just gift kids books. It's a pretty safe thing to do. Number two, what books do you recommend the most? I actually don't know what book like single-handedly recommend the most. Maybe someone who's been watching my channel from the start has a keen eye and could tell me what book I recommend the most. It's probably Lawson or Patterson or whatever. But in terms of, I'm going to mix it up and probably do author because that's a bit more obvious, and that's obviously the queen herself, Georgia Heyer, who you should all read. Number three, what book has changed you the most, such as has showed you new point of views, given you new knowledge, etc.? I don't know if there's a single book, to be honest. I feel like changes like that and perspectives and whatever come from reading a lot of books. They come over time as, different experiences from different books all collide, and it, shapes your views and thoughts or whatever. So I don't think it's ever been one book. I feel like it's just reading books in general, and over time the way they've put you chucked all of them into a slow cooker, and that's pretty much it. Four, what book hasn't left your mind since you read it? I've got two books for this. The most contemporary, Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood, and oh my god, what's the other one I was thinking? Dream Girl Drama by Tessa Bailey. That's all I need to say. Those books scarred me, but I kind of can't not like them because they're so wild and unhinged, and it's conflicting, and I need to process this more by reading more Tessa Bailey pretty much. But yeah, those two books live rent-free in my mind pretty much, probably not for the best reasons. Five, what is your most niche favorite book? I don't know about favorite book. I know I'm gonna have to say maybe, I actually don't know. I'm gonna say in terms of genres, like niche subgenres, probably just Australian history in general, like First Fleet history, Gold Rush, Eureka. I love that stuff to death. But I also love non-fiction books about Jesus throughout the centuries, and how he as a figure has changed over time, and just a lot of early, bare bones Christian nonfiction I love. Once Jesus died, and then before the churches, so before Eusebius, that certain time period where we have no evidence, literally nothing, no records, and so the author has to sink or swim in terms of making an engaging and interesting nonfiction book about that time period. So those are my main two. Seven. Oh no, sorry. Five, six. Oh my god. Number six. What is a popular book you feel lives up to the hype? Recently, I read My Dark Vanessa, and I actually really kind of liked it. I thought it was a really interesting story. I really enjoyed the writing. For me, the pacing was a bit off, but honestly, My Dark Vanessa kind of lives up to the hype. And I really kind of I'm surprised I really liked that book. That's a lovely surprise. And so that's probably my main one. And I'm also going to throw A Little Life in there because I really love A Little Life. Seven, what is a popular book you were disappointed by or disliked? For me, and it comes out today, I've already read it. It's Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy. I loved I'm Glad My Mum Died, but this was a train wreck. I don't even have the words to describe the sheer. I literally can't even describe it. It's the worst, one of the worst books I ever read. I'm sorry, Ali. I'm sorry, Tessa Bailey. because this was like another level of bad for me, and I need to process this more before I do my wrap up. But for me, Harvey's Age just, oh girl, that was a flop. We'll see how it goes because it'll be interesting to see people's reactions to it. 8. What is your favorite book outside of your comfort zone? And for me, that's actually, I think, the Hannibal books by Thomas Harris. I don't read thrillers literally that much at all. The closest I get to thrillers outside of like the Hannibal books is Nora Roberts. That's a bit sad, but it's probably the Hannibal books, or also The Realm of the Eldlings by Robin Hobb. I don't really care for fantasy. I've actually in the last couple of weeks tried to pick up the Lord of the Rings. Like, I don't even know how many times I've tried. I can't even get through the first 100 pages, and I literally just, I get rid of it every time, but it seeps its way back into my library, and I'm like, get away from me. I've tried. I'm just not a Lord of the Rings girly at all. But I randomly did absolutely adore The Realm of the Eldlings, all 16 books. I love them to death. So those are probably my main two like series in particular. Where are we up to? 9. What books surprised you the most in terms of twists you liked or disliked and you learned something new? In terms of surprise, again, I'm going to say My Dark Vanessa. I don't know, I was really surprised by I liked it, so I'm going to say that one again. 10. What is your favorite kind of story to read about? Not genre, but story arc, theme, character archetype, trope. I'm gonna stick to romance because that's what I know the most. I love an arranged deal, like when a couple's young and they're like, if we're not married by this point, we will, but then you get the future, and obviously both their lives are very chaotic, and they're put into that situation where they may have to go on that deal, or one of them does it like a marriage of convenience or something like that. Normally when it's in the historical settings, I absolutely eat it up. That's probably my favorite kind of. There's probably more tropes or types of romance stories I like. If it's historical, I will probably read it. I love historical romance so much. Or even like a kind of story. That's probably the most I think of. I love a bodice ripper, so anything like that pretty much. I know it's not the best kind of story, but I really don't think of that books like that. 11. What book do you wish you had written? There is a lot I wish I had written. There's a lot of books out there. I think I would have liked to have written. Oh, that's tough. I would honestly say, for sheer financial gain, the Harry Potter books. That's really. I don't like Harry Potter at all, but just for the financial gain, I would easily say Harry Potter. What's next? 12. What is your favorite or most rewarding experience reading with a book? Experience of a book. For me, my favorite bookish experiences have always been with friends, whether it's, loving, my friend loves a book that I hate, or she hates a book that I love, or buying each other books, or anything like that. Or debates or fights and arguments. I love it so much. And so that's probably my favorite experience, is more the social aspect with it because it's a bit more rarer. 13. How do you determine what to read next? I literally don't know. I normally am like, am I in the mood for romance or nonfiction? And that's literally it. I don't have any other. I wish I was a TBR girly. I love creating lists and everything like that, but I don't really follow them. Unless it's like a book club or something like that, which I'm very strict and I really do. But normally it's just, do I want a romance, or do I want something like a nonfiction? Or maybe do I want a classic? That's pretty much like the main 3 questions I ask myself, and I kind of work it out from there. 14. What is a book you wish you had read sooner, or not put off for so long? In terms of book I wish I had read sooner, well, I'm going to be one of those people and say a book comes to you when you most need it. So that's going to be my response. In terms of a book that I'm surprised, I haven't gone to yet. And that's easily for me is The Divine Comedy by Dante. I read Inferno as a teen, but the fact I've read City of God twice, I've Kemp, you've seen My Holy Sundays, Kemp, Imitations of Christ, The Cloud of Unknowing, like literally all the other major Christian classics, Aquinas, like literally everyone nearly, at least I can get my hands on. I just haven't done Dante. He's like the one I just haven't gone to yet. And it's become like a bit of a joke that I'm just not going to do Dante at this point. And the same with Virgil. I've never read Virgil. I've done a good chunk of the ancient Romans, but I just have not done Virgil. I know. So those like the books I'm surprised I haven't gotten to yet. But in terms of what I read sooner, I don't think that's, books come to you when you need them the most, or whatever that saying is. 15. What is a book you love but worry won't hold up when you reread it? And for me, that's probably F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'm not the biggest F. Scott Fitzgerald girly, but I did recently over the last couple months haul The Beautiful and the Damned, Tender as the Night, and oh my god, I can't remember the other one I got. Where is it? Tender as the Night, Beautiful and the Damned. Oh yeah, and I got The Great Gatsby as well, in like the Penguin Moderns, and we'll see how we go with that. I read F. Scott when I was a teen. I thought it was pretty mediocre, if I'm being a bit honest. Even The Great Gatsby, I think it's such an American book, and I feel like it just doesn't transcend really to me, at least. And I'd rather pick up John Steinbeck or any of the women from that time period. Give me Edith Wharton any day over these American, male authors from that time. So those are the ones I'd be interesting to see if it holds up, especially Tender as the Night, because I remember that being my favorite, but we'll see how we go with that. 16. What is your favorite band's book to read? The Catcher in the Rye. No one likes it. I like it, so I'm just going to say that one. 17. What do you think should be required reading? I don't think any book should be required reading. It's not worth it. But if I had to suggest one author to everyone, I'm just going to say Kafka. Pick up the short stories and see if you like them. That's all I have to say. Kafka's just the love of my life, if I'm being a bit honest. 18. What is a book that you love but don't get a chance to talk about as much as you'd like? For me, I still feel like it's romance on my channel. I feel like I know I talk about it every now and then, but I feel like I don't talk about it as much as I read it, or even, I'm trying to look around and see, or even just some more non-fiction stuff, if I'm being honest. But those, I don't know actually, I don't really think about that. 19. What is the best book you've read this far? Oh my god, what is the best book you've read so far this year? And I've been keeping up with contemporary romance. Look at me go. I've done probably 3 or 4 so far this month, and my favorite has to be and it's interesting because it may change, because today Catch Her If You Can by Tessa Bailey comes out. I'm reading that as soon as I'm done with this video, because I need my Tessa Bailey. I need the cringe, and so I'm like, I need that in my life. So it could change, but for right now, it's a killer kind of romance by what's it? Oh my god, I can't say it. Letizia Loroni Scarlett, and it's a kind of romance, a killer kind of romance, sorry. And it's pretty much, it's so dumb. I kind of love it. It's so tongue-in-cheek, and it's about this girl, Scarlett, and she's like a narrator for crime fiction for like a local podcast, and she ends up getting tangled into this like murder mystery that's going on, and she kind of has to solve it with her ex, who's been dragged into this as well. And pretty much it's like a murder mystery, but it's like the funniest, most like lamest white person rom-com you've ever read, especially with the writing. But I absolutely adored it so much. I think it's just contemporary romance just absolutely frying my brain at this point, but I absolutely really loved it. But Tessa Bailey could take over. So yeah. Number 20. This is an extra question from Doug at Doug Irvin And he was like, I'm going to add one more question, so I'm going to do that too. And he asked, what is your favorite speech from literature? And because I saw the word literature, I had to pick a Shakespeare speech. So I picked from Measure for Measure, which is my favorite Shakespeare play. I love how dark it is. I love it so much. And I'm going to choose the Be Absolute for Death speech from Act 3, Scene 1. And it's who's it by? It's by the Duke of Vienna. He says it to Claudio, who's expected to be executed soon. And he just casually has one of the greatest speeches ever written, at least in English that I've read. And it's just stunning. I don't have it with me right now, but go look up that speech, Act 3, Scene 1, Measure for Measure, and just be gagged by that speech. And I think it's a popular speech. I can see it being overshadowed by some other Shakespeare speeches, but that's always been my personal favorite. And so that is the 20 questions. In terms of tagging, I'm not going to tag anyone in particular, but if you want to do these 20 questions, please feel free to do so. It was really fun, especially if you're like me and done this off the top of your head. And so, yeah, let me know what you think about what I said and the books I mentioned. And thank you so much for watching BookTube, and I will see you next time.